From the Oklahoman newsroom, this is an OSU update. I'm Jenny Carlson here in studio. Scott Wright joins us on the phone to talk about Stillwater, to talk about Cowboy football, and these days that means NFL draft stuff. Scott, news percolating out before the NFL draft, which is coming up here in a couple weeks, that the New England Patriots might be fairly interested at a former Cowboy, that being Mason Rudolph. What do we know about where things stand right now and what seems to be a simmering relationship between these two sides?
Well, yeah, it absolutely is, and goes back even to back around the NFL Combine, when some reports were coming out that he might be a guy that was on their list. He got asked some questions about being the guy to follow Tom Brady while he was up at the Combine from the media there in Indianapolis. But the latest news last week, Ian Rappaport reporting that both Mason Rudolph and James Washington had worked out for the Patriots, and Rudolph was in Stillwater last week, which is where he would have to hold a workout, because the Patriots can have him come visit their complex, but he can't work out for them on their complex. So the Patriots would have to come to him, and so it's a very interesting situation with the Patriots now having made the Brandon Cooks trade, having an extra pick in the first round, having 4 of the first 63 draft picks, which Bill Belichick loves to stockpile his draft picks. So it's a really interesting situation that they've got going on there, and obviously they're going to need somebody to be the heir apparent to Tom Brady whenever he finally decides to give it up. And so this could be an interesting situation for Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, that Cooks trade, Scott, I don't know if it made a ton of headlines around here, but obviously over the years, Tom Brady has had a backup. There's always been somebody there in New England. But when they traded away Jimmy Garoppolo a year or so ago, really kind of left their coaching staff in a little bit of a lurch. But now it looks like late first round, early second round. Is that the thinking at this point, the way the Cooks trade went down and what it left the Patriots with, that would be around the vicinity where they might take Mason Rudolph?
Yeah, exactly. They've got an early 20s pick, and then the number 31 pick, and then they pick again at 43 overall. Any of those 3 picks, I could see them going that direction for a quarterback, and Mason Rudolph is the most likely guy, I think, in their eyes. So that would be the area that they're looking at. And like you said, it's they've had some really good backups, guys that have been traded away or signed away during the Tom Brady era, that have gone on and had a lot of success after spending a couple of years just hanging around behind him and watching how he does things. So it's a good situation to be in, and that would definitely be the most likely area for Mason Rudolph. No matter who picks him, that seems to be the area of the draft that we're expecting to hear his name called.
Hey, lastly, Scotty, as it relates to the Patriots and Mason Rudolph, you mentioned that he may be the most obvious pick in that area for the Patriots. What do you think links up best with him, with the Patriots, with Bill Belichick, the system that they run? What do you like about the synergy that you could potentially see happening there?
Well, he's a very cerebral quarterback, just like Tom Brady is. I think that's something that Bill Belichick has to love. He likes a guy that he can connect with mentally. I think that's why he and Tom Brady have had such a great working relationship for all of these years. I think that's the biggest thing that they probably like about him. Obviously, Tom Brady isn't a 4.3 40 guy. They're not looking for a guy that moves around and runs a ton. Although we know Mason can move. He's not a statue in the pocket. He can move around when he needs to, but he's a little bit out of that Tom Brady mold. And it seems like a fairly similar fit for him. And Mason doesn't talk a lot about this, but he's a pretty big Tom Brady fan too, and he watches a lot of what Tom Brady does, ducks himself off the field as well. And it's a guy that from afar he's sort of looked up to over points of his career. So it would be a really interesting relationship to see him get to train under Tom Brady.
All right, lots left to shake out before the NFL draft hits. That being April 26th. It's down in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We'll have lots of coverage as it relates to the Cowboys as we lead up to draft day. Draft days, 3 days for the NFL draft, so be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.